Hello and welcome to the Slingshot Channel. We're here at Nathan Master's place, Simple Shot, and this is his new office where he is doing all of his shipping and he's processing all the orders. So let's see if he's there.
Hey there, Jorg. Good.
Hey! How are you, man?
Very good. Come on in.
Okay. Wow. Slingshots.
Yeah, so this is Slingshot Central. This is our office where we spend all the time on the computer, taking care of the website, shipping orders, and our R&D facility, so to speak.
Okay. It looks really nice.
Yeah, we cleaned up for you. We generally don't have it this nice
okay.
and clean. Yeah, we're not that tidy.
Okay, and this is the other room where you're making all your bands?
Yeah, so in here is where we keep all of our raw materials, mostly for our bands. All rubber over here.
Oh,
These
that's a lot of bands.
All of our finished band sets.
Okay.
And then this is where we package it up and send it out the door and do our photography.
And here you're cutting your bands?
Yep, this is our band cutting station. So we have all our different latexes and cut here on the mat. We also cut in-house with our clicker dies.
Okay.
And this
nice.
is stuff.
So let's look at some of the slingshots, shall we?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay. So is that your personal collection up here?
Yeah, so the wife said that I had to get some of the slingshots out of the house. So I put some of my favorites.
My wife says so all the time. So
I've got slingshots from makers from all over the world here, friends and competitors and colleagues.
Okay.
So just throwing some of the ones up here that
I can see.
like
I can see a Gary Miller flat band.
Yep, absolutely. You have to have a flat band slingshot in every collection.
Okay.
Then I've got a few classics here, like the Milligan, which is one of my most prized slingshots, not because it's such a great slingshot, but Mr. Blue Skeen gave me the slingshot out of his collection.
Oh.
So it's really quite special. As is the one next to it. This one was made by Blue.
All right.
So anything Blue gives me, I take good care of. And
And
got
there's
an original tech shooter slingshot here, Bill Harriman design.
Okay.
One of his early ones that came from Blue.
Really nice. You even have a cougar. I can see.
Oh, absolutely.
You customize the handles, don't you?
Put Brazilian walnut on there.
Oh, nice. And so these are flipping out / Simple Shot products, aren't they?
That's correct. So we started out as flipping out slingshots, and Simple Shot is the parent company. All right. Well, we'll start with probably the most simple one on the table here. This is my personal favorite slingshot, and there's nothing special about it other than it shoots really well for me. I cut this out of my wife's grandfather's lawn, with some sort of ornamental cedar. And it just fits my hand nicely, and I like it a lot. And it gave me the idea to do my knife slingshot. You can see here, a lot of folks have seen this slingshot on the forum. But you see the same shape, and this is the one, of course, that
has the knife.
Houses a knife inside the handle.
That's slick.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is the one that I love the most. Can you show it to me?
Yeah, this is a fantastic slingshot. So a couple of years ago, I came from an archery background, and I wanted to incorporate the way you hold a slingshot the same way you do a bow, having a straight wrist so you could put the forces through the bones. So we call this the hair splitter, and it's made from a natural orange fork, so from the orange tree, the citrus.
Oh, very nice.
Bonded to the fork, which is a colored laminate multiplex.
That looks so beautiful. It's like a paradise bird.
Yeah, in heart pine. But what's really nice about this slingshot, of course, I made this one to fit my hand particularly. But when I hold it, my wrist is perfectly straight.
Okay.
And what that allows to do is the forces of the bands not only come through the bone structure, make it a little more stable, but it allows me to simply point at my target.
Okay.
So that's the idea behind this one.
All right.
But nonetheless, a beautiful slingshot.
I can see another knife shooter here.
Yeah, I've got a problem. I love knives. I love slingshots, and I've been
Same here.
mating the knife and the slingshot. So, of course, started with this one to make the sheath the slingshot. Then just took the friction folder idea. So I took an old sword knife from New Zealand and just mated it to my slingshot. So
that's nice.
I've got a functional knife.
So you have a slingshot that you can use to make another slingshot.
Exactly. But you can never have too many knives or too many slingshots.
So these are beautiful slingshots. Can people buy these from you?
Well, certainly, but these are all custom made. They're made for the end user. So right now we've got about a 6-month wait for custom pieces.
6 months?
6
waiting
months.
time.
But put your name on the list. Once we get around to you, we'll give you a call. We don't take any money until we make the slingshot, and we make it to your specs.
Okay, but people can buy slingshots from you that you can immediately deliver, can they?
Absolutely. We have a full line of slingshots that are ready to go that perform just as well as a custom slingshot.
Let's have a look. So these are more of the individual pieces, right?
Yes,
Beautiful,
so
beautiful.
what we have here, this is the Axiom Design.
Uh-huh.
And this one, of course, is a custom with a full palm swell.
Wow.
The center of it is G10 with 2 layers of brass. Then the faces are G10 and carbon fiber. So
Wow.
it has a really nice mass to it.
Mm-hmm.
Scaled it down just a bit. I prefer a really small slingshot. This is my personal slingshot. I like a small slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
So took that design and scaled it down.
These are the ones that you would have to order like 6 months ahead of time, right?
Exactly.
And then you made commercial products out of them that are less expensive and immediately available,
Right. So we've got an economy line made from high-density polyethylene.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the three-dimensionality that you do with the customs, but aren't
Okay.
necessary on this particular model. One great thing about this slingshot is you cannot break it. It is absolutely indestructible. And one of the things that I recently found out while out fishing is they float.
They float.
They float, so that's pretty handy.
Okay.
So this is the Ultimo. We have 3 sizes in this line because it's a really
Alright.
popular shape and size. Our 3G fork tips allow you to shoot just about any band you want on it, either
And you could probably drive a truck over these, right?
multiple times, no problem. But we offer them in 3 sizes to accommodate guys like you, Jorg, with really big hands.
Uh-huh.
The average hand, the Maxim, and then the Maxim Champ, which is really great for youth or
Okay.
ladies, or just guys who prefer a small slingshot.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I can shoot that slingshot.
Yeah,
It's not, and it's very pocketable.
very pocketable. And what's nice is if you lose that one or give it to a friend, you haven't lost anything.
And people can order these just off your website, right?
They're ready to go.
Okay. You see the link in the text description. These are your flip cans, right?
Yeah, this is a great slingshot. So kind of took the Dan Kung approach to making just a skeletonized slingshot, except we don't make ours out of stainless steel. We make ours out of water jet cut 6061 aircraft aluminum. Then we anodize the finish. So you get a really lightweight slingshot, ultra pocketable.
Mm-hmm. And it's
ultra strong.
also, yeah, it seems, oh, it weighs next to nothing.
Yeah. And then you also
nice.
have 10 feet of paracord should you ever need it.
And I guess it's also a very, very nice, starting kit for someone who wants to customize this, right?
Absolutely.
So you can make custom handles from wood, from G10, from almost anything.
Yep. And we've got a great tutorial video on how to do that.
Well, this is another famous design line of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of our signature shape. We started out, and this is what we call the Omega Slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite large.
I love your finish.
A
It's so
great
beautiful.
target slingshot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the finish on this one is a catalyzed conversion varnish, which is extremely durable. And this slingshot's been used for several years now and still looks great.
And it has this distinctive palm swell, right?
The palm swell is one thing that I think we pretty well revolutionized. We brought the palm swell to the slingshot community.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it really helps with a positive hand placement, is what we call it. That when you grip the slingshot, you have multiple points of contact that lock your hand into the same spot from shot to shot. It gives you some consistency and repeatability.
It also looks great.
Yeah, it really looks great.
So, and this is another version of the same design line, right?
Yeah, so as we
beautiful.
grew into our slingshots, we noticed that slingshot shooters were going to smaller and smaller slingshots, and we, like I say, we prefer them too.
Mm-hmm.
So we developed the Axiom, and the Axiom is pretty much our flagship model of custom slingshots. You can see it's quite a bit smaller than the Omega. And the Axiom and the Omega bore the Scout.
Okay, so this is the one that you can buy and that's not too expensive, right?
Exactly. So what we did with the Scout is you get all the ergonomics, all the details of a custom high-end slingshot
Mm-hmm.
in a really low-priced package.
Okay. Well, this is so you obviously supply them in different colors, and yeah, it still has the palm swell. It's really nice, and it feels great in the hand. I have one of these, and I love them. I presented them in another video actually, and it has this wonderful feel to it because the handle is rubberized, and it's very versatile in terms of bands. You can attach any kind of bands to this, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. You can band it over the top as we've shown here, through the forks. You can use TrueMark type tubes. You could cut a slot in there and use looped tubes. You could chain office rubber bands together and put it on there. If it's elastic, you can basically attach it to these forks.
Very versatile. And then you have the choice between the colors.
Yep.
Now, I think you have to have one of each.
One thing we wanted to do with the Scout was to make sure that it could fit most users. So certainly it's not designed to be a hammer grip slingshot because the forks are quite high, but certainly can be shot that way with lighter bands quite comfortably. But we did make the handle asymmetrical. So if you have a smaller hand, like a woman or a child, they can simply turn the slingshot around backwards, put the bands on the opposite side, and this palm swell fills up the hand much better and allows a smaller-handed shooter to comfortably shoot this slingshot in the hammer grip position. So this is how the Scout comes packaged. It comes with a complete owner's manual. It'll give you all the instructions on how to replace the bands. It gives you all the instructions on how to take care of your slingshot, answers some of the most common questions, and it comes with a sticker.
And you're also offering sets like with ammunition and reserve bands and so on?
Absolutely. We do offer starter kits, so you can buy the slingshot, 2 pounds of ammo, and safety glasses to get started.
So this is something that I do all the time as well. This is turning a natural fork into a board cut, right?
Yeah, so this slingshot here started out as just a massive mesquite fork from West Texas. A friend brought to me, and it was full of wormholes, lots of character. So we cut it down to the Axiom Design, similar to this shape, but we're able to give it a lot more dimensionality. And we can see here how the forks are slightly canted forward, so it allows it to sit in the hand really nicely. And this was just a custom, sitting on the front porch carving with my little boys in the evening, just a slingshot because I have to make slingshots. It's a compulsion. So if I don't make slingshots, I may not exist.
Same here. So you're also selling slingshots that are made by other artists, aren't you?
Yeah, so I started out making really nice slingshots, functional art slingshots, and realized that a lot of folks really enjoy them. So I've been finding other artists that made slingshots to the same caliber that I do and represent them. So I've got a couple of great artists that are on our team.
And these are all unique pieces, right?
Every one of them is unique.
Okay.
No two will ever be alike, just by the nature of the way they're made.
Okay, so I can see some very interesting metal slingshots here.
So we represent an artist out of California by the name of Lee Silva at Black Sheep Forge. And he is a metalsmith extraordinaire. And he got into slingshots and got the bug like you and I, Jorg, where he just has to make slingshots. Except his are made of metal. And I'm just so taken with Lee's work. He's got a line. His first line, he started taking simply rail spikes, just railroad spikes, and making some really great slingshots out of them. And one thing that I like about Lee's work, which I hope we can see on the camera here, is the patina he's able to apply to the metal.
Oh yeah, it's
a
beautiful.
Rainbow of colors.
And it looks very smooth.
Yeah, exceptionally smooth. So he takes a lot of time in the finishing. Here's another one in the rail spike series.
Nice.
But each one being, and that's from one piece here. There's done all with hand tools. He splits this down the middle with a chisel, forms the tips over. I mean, you can see here just the detail of his work is great.
It's beautiful. There are some more. I mean, these here are just stunning too.
Yeah, this is the Chain Gang series, and you can see more about this on the website if you look at Lee's products. And he makes these out of chain links from massive industrial chains. And you can see here the maker's mark from the original manufacturer. And they're more Pickle style slingshots. One thing that's neat about this particular slingshot, it was all forged from the sides. So he did most of the hammering, not on the face of the material, but on the sides to displace the metal.
That must have been a lot of work.
A lot of work. But he was able to incorporate the pinky hole very nicely. So great little pocket slingshot. Can't break it.
Of course not.
Here's another one with a little bit longer forks. And this one displays some really nice color. And I don't know how he achieves this.
You can see some red and blue, and it's really beautiful.
Just beautiful. Then one of my personal favorites is this one right here. Just the shape is so organic in nature, but feels great in the hand. And he put an excellent finish on it.
Yes. I don't know how he did that, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's all made from tempering, right?
I'm honestly not sure. He speaks to me in his blacksmith language. And I don't understand it all. But I do like the way he labels all of his work. Very professional.
Oh, that's really nice.
And then another one here.
Like a Greek touch, doesn't it?
Yeah, and this one's called Hypnose.
Okay.
Yeah, from the Greek. Very feminine curves. Just an exquisite slingshot. It can be shot banded either through the forks or over the top. Then one thing that's really unique, and you'll be able to see more of this on the website, is Lee makes pickle forks. He loves pickle forks.
I think they are very good slingshots.
Yeah.
Very small and functional.
And the hole that he put in the tip here, certainly you could put tubes through. But if you'll check the website, he's got a very ingenious method of attaching flat bands through this hole, and it works really, really well. So be sure to take a look at that. But for anybody that shot a pickle fork, you know fork kits are going to happen. No problems here.
No. It's only going to look more pretty afterwards.
And then finally, Lee's a man of my own heart. He incorporated a bottle opener into the slingshot. Pure genius.
So it's a survival slingshot.
It's a survival slingshot.
Nice.
But great work.
These are some of the most unusual slingshots that I've ever seen.
Yeah, for people that are in the know of slingshots, everybody's heard of Bob Fionda out of Italy, and he is quite the craftsman. He only works with natural forks, so he'll go out into the wild and harvest natural forks and then meditate on them until he finds the form to be released from the fork. He only works with hand tools, no power tools, and his finishing is second to none. He sands well past 1200 grit and then finishes all of his pieces with camellia oil, which is a traditional Japanese approach. But each of his pieces are art. They stand alone as this beautiful expressions of art.
They're like sculptures, really.
They are. They're absolutely beautiful.
And some of the wood pieces that he found are just so unusual.
Like this. This is a root. This can be shot, have bands on either side. So tubes for this side, flat bands for this side.
Nice.
And then it goes so far as...
Yeah, that I have never seen a piece of wood like that.
Yeah, so it's held like this. The bands come over the top.
All right. So this is really slingshot art.
This is really slingshot art. Right? These are beautiful pieces. Most of the people who buy these just to admire, and it's just the pride of owning such a beautiful piece of wood that's been carefully and lovingly crafted. And Bob does a really great job of bringing out the inner beauty of each piece that he creates.
You also do a lot of work with pouches and experiments, don't you?
Well, absolutely. So the pouches, a lot of slingshot enthusiasts agree that the pouch is where the accuracy comes from. Okay. So we carry quite a variety of pouches. We've always carried the Super Sure pouches by Ray Bazonsky out of Georgia.
Oh, Ray makes these.
Ray makes these, and they are these pouches last forever. He bonds two pieces of leather together. Generally, it's cowhide and pig hide. Oftentimes he'll use a laminate in the middle that's a proprietary that he calls his super pouch. But these pouches give you the benefit of lightweight, very little stretch, and durability. We offer them in a couple of different sizes if you want to shoot stones or really large ammo.
Oh, yeah, big stones.
Then we offer them with different size centering holes.
Okay.
We also do our own line of pouches out of kangaroo leather and top grain cow leather. And the kangaroo leather is nice. It just lasts and lasts and lasts.
This is very, very thin leather.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
And this is drum stuffed kangaroo leather, which is a particular process that what the best boots and whatnot are made from.
Wow.
So very excellent pouches.
See how thin it is. But it's very durable, isn't it?
Very durable.
Great.
And then we also carry a pouch by our friend in Sri Lanka, Irfan Razik. And this is the E-Shot pouch, which is a great little target pouch. Excellent for 3/8 ammo. And these are just cowhide pouches, but very minimal, lightweight, so you get a lot of speed. Then we've got a pigskin cupped pouch made by Gary Flatband Miller.
Okay.
Out of New Jersey.
I know Gary's pouches.
Yeah. So a lot of guys like this dimple in the pouch.
Yeah, I do too. I like it. So, and these are like high-tech pouches, right?
Yeah, so we're constantly looking for different materials to use for a pouch. And this is one we found that's used in the dry bags used by the Navy SEALs. There's a local company here that manufactures them for the U.S. government. And we got a few samples from them and started experimenting. It's ultra lightweight, 0.9 grams for this pouch.
0.9 grams?
0.9 grams. You get absolutely zero stretch. And they're absolutely weatherproof. If anybody shoots their slingshot in the rain or in a humid environment, you know how a leather pouch can become sticky and you don't get a clean release?
Yeah,
problem
I gotta have some of these. Navy SEALs pouches.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
I have to have these.
So we're still in our testing phase with these, but these will be available soon.
Great. These are my favorites, I think. This is rubber paradise here, isn't it?
Yeah, so we do enjoy our rubber here, and we offer lots of different rubbers and lots of different tapers. So we offer any taper that we have. We'll also offer it in TheraBand Gold, 40 gauge, 30 gauge, and 20 gauge medical latex. So if you're just getting into the do-it-yourself side of things and don't want to cut your bands, or you just don't prefer to cut bands, we sell just the tapers. So choose your taper. And one of the neat things about these tapers is they're 10.5 inches long. Most people don't utilize that much rubber. So depending on where you cut the band will change the performance characteristics.
Of course.
So you can do a lot of fine tuning by using these tapers. And we also offer a full line of pre-made bands. One unique thing we do with our bands is we ship them in UV resistant pouches.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so when you get them, they're going to be fresh. And we make sure they're bundled up nice and tight.
Fresh means fast.
With your tie-in bands.
Nice.
So you're ready to go and marked clearly on the front. So buy a couple extra sets and put them in your pack. So for the folks that like tubular rubber or just want to have bands that are going to be guaranteed to last longer, we offer 3 different diameters. We offer the larger stuff here in 2 different formulations. These are dipped latex tubes versus being extruded. So what that means is we get a very uniform wall thickness throughout the piece. So you're going to get a good even stretch. But we offer natural amber, and then this has had some UV stabilizers put into it. We've got a mid-size, which is my personal favorite. This is a great rubber for 3/8 to 7/16 steel. And then the smaller ones that we often use for looped tubes.
And how many shots do you usually get from one of these bands?
You know, that's a loaded question, Jorg.
I know.
It all depends
but people
on how
want to know.
But if you're gonna stretch them out to maybe 400%, a factor of 4, you should expect at least 500 shots. You know, it all depends on how you tie in your pouches, how you treat the rubber. But it's not uncommon for this size especially. If you're shooting heavy ammo and not stretching them out too far, I've had sets go at least 1,000 shots. All right, so here's the smaller diameter tubing. We do sell these band sets made up in both the black and the amber. And these are great for shooting 3/8 steel. They're pretty zippy with those. And they'll also handle up to 1/2-inch steel quite well. But a good looped tube band set.
And you can slip those immediately within a second onto one of your flip congs, for example.
Exactly, or if you've cut the slot into the scout, and they pop right on. So band changing is very quick.
Ideal for target shooters, right?
Exactly, and all of our band sets come with a top grain leather pouch, and we take a lot of time to source quality leather that's strong enough to endure the bands, but not too much mass. We want as little mass as possible in the pouch for the top performance.
Obviously, you also sell a lot of steel balls.
Yeah, we sell 7 of the most common sizes of steel ammo.
Okay, and do you also have specialty ammo?
Yeah, we've got a few specialty ammos. We've got what we've got here is this is 36 caliber lead, but it's been nickel plated.
Oh, that's lead?
That's lead, but nickel plated, so it's a little bit harder.
And it's of course a lot heavier than the same size steel balls.
Exactly. So this 36 caliber nickel plated lead ball is the same mass as a 7/16 inch diameter steel ball.
It's ideal hunting ammunition, right?
Ideal, especially for feathered game.
I understand that these are for hunters, but they're not hunting with them, but it's just a thing that helps you hunting, right?
Exactly. So a lot of hunters are concerned about their scent and being noticed by the animal. So this either acts as a cover scent or an attractant scent. So we have cedar and corn and acorn that can either be a cover or an attractant, as well as deer estrus for the deer hunter. And what's great about these is that if the wind shifts during your hunt, rather than getting down to reapply scent, you can simply shoot it where you need to put it. And it also gives you another reason.
Why walk when you can shoot?
Exactly. And it gives you another reason to have a slingshot.
Oh, always a good thing.
Always need a slingshot.
These are accessories that you are selling?
Yeah, so, you know, when you're out enjoying your slingshot, accessories are always fun. So we carry several different gear bags. We've got some great pouches that are made from paracord by artists down in Texas. And these are indestructible. They hold about a pound and a half of steel ammo. So just enough for a walk out in the woods, or if you want to just drop that into your bag, you'll always have your ammo on hand. Then recently we came across a pouch from the UK, the Wilkins Pouch. And this is used by air gunners for holding airgun pellets. It also makes an excellent slingshot ammo pouch. Really classy. It's made from
super nice.
And they're made from all leather. And
wow.
You can hear how hard it is. But this is heirloom quality pouch here.
It reminds me like on a desert water bottle.
Yeah. And then finally, we carry a great product from Maxpedition. This is their H1 waist pack. And if we didn't know any better, we thought they made it for slingshots. Of course, this was made for military or tactical type work. It has a magazine pouch on the side, but it fits a slingshot just perfectly.
It really looks like it's made for your slingshot.
Made for the slingshot. You can't lose your slingshot. If anybody's put your slingshot in the back pocket and taken a trip through the woods, often your slingshot will get pulled out of your pocket. You didn't know where you lost it.
And you have a huge space for all kinds of ammo.
Yeah, then you open it up here. You've got plenty of room for spare bands, a knife, a quick first aid kit.
The occasional bear attractant.
There you go. But then lots of room inside for ammo.
That's
and what's nice about this is it's big enough to get your hand into. So you can simply wear it on your side. It's MOLLE compatible.
Wonderful.
A really great
product.
gear bag. Excellent product.
This is where the magic happens, right?
This is where it happens. So this is my home workshop, and I like working out of my home so I can be close to my family, and so I can work when inspiration hits me.
Okay, why don't you show us a few things that you're working on?
All right, well, come on over this way. So we've got a few in progress here. This is the Axiom Design, one of my more popular ones. This one's a hollow aluminum core. It's built off of the flip cone. So this is what it's built around. And one of the reasons I like to use a hollow core for laminating is that I get a much more surface area for my glue. So I use an expanding polyurethane glue. So it fills up that entire area and bonds not only on the edges here, but all throughout. So much more stable.
Also, it keeps the weight within boundaries.
Exactly. So it gives the Slingshot a nice mass. It's indestructible. This particular one's made of Brazilian rosewood on one side, linen micarta on the other, and then the C-Tech palm swells. I call this the Town and Country series, so you can have it nice and fancy, wooden on one side. I can already
imagine how pretty it's going to be once it's finished.
The black looks really tactical. Then this one, same construction, same woods on the face, but the palm swell woods are different. So this is a wenge from Africa with a stripe of purple heart on it.
Oh.
So have a nice definition.
How many hours have you invested in this so far?
These Slingshots each probably have about three hours in them right now.
Okay, and many more hours to go.
Yeah, a few more hours to go. And then one we're working on here, just a very simple slingshot. We call this the Slimline. It's a piece of 3/8 inch thick linen micarta with just a layer of just pretty wood on top.
Oh.
So it'll get palm swells on either side, and it'll be set up to shoot looped tubes with the 3G fork tips.
Okay. Show us your treasures, Nathan.
All right, so I'm an avid wood collector. I'm just going to show you a few pieces, but I really like the exotic woods, the exotic hardwoods. So we'll just start here by showing you the grain. But this I picked up from a luthier, a fellow that made guitars. So this was instrument quality Bolivian rosewood.
Wow.
So makes it a really fine slingshot. Takes a beautiful finish. Then a piece that I'm really excited to work with. This is just Cocobolo. And Cocobolo does, once it's exposed to UV, gets darker. So we can't really see the grain until we mill into it again. But it started to spalt, so some controlled rotting.
Spalted Cocobolo.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of character in that piece. So I'm excited to see what comes of it. Probably my most favorite wood in the world to work with, just for its machinability and the way it smells and the way it takes a tool, is black walnut, American black walnut. And this is a piece of crotch burl. And you'll be able to see that once that's polished up, there's going to be some amazing color.
Oh, it looks like it has a
reflectivity to it.
built into it.
That's going to be a nice one.
Nice.
Then any wood that has just character. This is lace wood. I'm not exactly sure where lace wood is from, but again, it has that iridescent quality to it.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful.
Another favorite is Bacote, which is very toxic wood, but takes a nice finish, has a lot of character.
Strong, strong patterns.
Yeah. And then one that I've been buying up every chance that I get, just because it's getting harder and harder to find, is Macassar Ebony. And most of the Macassar that you find these days is being sold for, cut up into small bits for knives, or going to the luthier market for high-end guitars. So another one of my favorites to work with. It's very stable, takes a great polish. Another one of our local woods is Tulip Poplar. And this is a piece that I found. Let's see if I find you can see here, Tulip Poplar generally doesn't display that type of iridescence. But this is going to show some really nice color.
Beautiful piece of wood.
And nice green color. And that'll get richer as you add oil to it. So that's going to make a beautiful slingshot. I like the brighter colored woods too. I don't use them very much for a dominant color, but I'll use them for accent colors. And this is just Padauk. And I believe this is from Africa.
It's very red.
The only problem with Padauk is if you put a lighter colored wood next to it, it will bleed the color into it. So you have to be really careful with it, especially when you sand lighter colored wood.
Put like micarta or something in between.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Purple Heart is an old standby.
Yeah, you use that a lot. That's a beautiful wood.
And then this is the C-Tech that I was telling you about.
Ah, that's how it looks like.
Yep, it comes in sheets. And again, this is for the knife industry. They make knife scales out of it. But I've been adding it to Slingshot, so that's got a red color with flecks in it.
And that's Probably very expensive, right?
Yeah, this sheet right here is about $65.
$65.
Yeah, so you can get just a few slingshot handles out of it. I've never made a full slingshot out of it just because it's too precious. And of course, we've got lots and lots of composites down here that we fool around with. G10, micarta, of all different colors.
And you're famous to combine many of these in just a single slingshot, right?
Exactly. So mix it up, and then a big box of buckeye burl, which doesn't look like much right now, but that is an exquisitely beautiful wood when finished out.
I understand you also collect wood.
Absolutely. So one thing I'm famous for around these parts is digging through people's scrap piles in their yard with yard waste. So I'll often find, and where people have cut firewood, they'll leave the burrs, and they're beautiful. So this one's from water oak, and you can see I've sliced it apart here. But the character inside there is just exquisite. And one thing that's really neat about this particular one is we can see here, somebody shot it with a shotgun. So there's pieces of lead pellets embedded in the wood. And I'm hoping to be able to incorporate that into a slingshot.
You can see how hard that wood is because it barely penetrated.
Yeah. And then one of my favorites came across some great dogwood. And this was dogwood that had been on the ground for quite some time, so it began to spalt.
So very big for dogwood.
Very big for dogwood. But exceptionally hard, and it takes a great finish.
Here is your bandsaw, I understand.
So this is my pride and joy. This is a Rikon bandsaw. Excellent product. And this is pretty much the heart of the workshop. We cut out all of our blanks here. We do a lot of the resawing and milling of our wood to get it ready to go.
Is that colored plywood that you have there?
This is the Spectra ply, and this is
wow,
yellow birch that's been dyed and then pressed, and it makes a beautiful slingshot. And we also sell these blanks for the folks that want to make their own.
Yeah, your polishing is done with the machine, with the drill press, right?
Yep, I do quite a bit of my shaping with the drill press and just drum sanders of various sizes, and it speeds things along. And once you get the feel for it, it's a great tool. I also use them for drilling precise holes.
These are tools to make bands, right?
Yeah, so we decided that we wanted to make sure that our products were absolutely uniform from piece to piece. So we invested in a clicker press. So we've got a 7-ton press here that utilizes these dies.
7 tons.
7 tons of pressure. So it's a pneumatic press, and it presses these razor knives that are exact shape of our bands into a bed. That way, from each batch, we get perfect bands from batch to batch. There's no human error there.
Okay, so you're not using a roll cutter for cutting the bands.
That's
you're using
right.
This setup, which probably is going to create far more even bands.
Yeah, far more even and no nicks. And we do the same with our pouches.
Yes, I can see that. So this would be a die for the pouches.
That's the die for our standard pouch. Then we've got a couple of different sizes that we also press.
Nice. I'm sure you're also working on new stuff.
We're constantly working on new stuff.
Do you have a preview for me?
Yeah, so one that we're really excited about. This was designed by Ray Bazonsky, and he's been for the last 2 years, been the first place winner at the East Coast Slingshot Tournament. And it's loosely based on the Axiom Design, really small slingshot, set up solely for through the fork shooting.
Wow, that handle looks like out of the world.
Yeah, and this handle is a really unique material. It's called C-Tech, and it's an aluminum matrix covered in a black epoxy type material used by knife makers, and it gives a really nice effect. Then the body of the slingshot is made from G10.
And that's one that you're making for Ray?
This is for Ray. So Ray will be quite surprised to get it.
He's maybe less than you think.
Then here's a hair splitter that we're working on.
Okay.
Just trying to tune it in and find the right shape. The idea again is to have a straight wrist. But it's made from a natural cedar fork. You can see the natural cedar wood.
It's a beautiful piece.
Bobinga and Purple Heart. And it's got a pretty unique banding attachment for over the top.
Are you pinning these to make them more stable, or how do you... there's the pins. Okay.
Yep, micarta pins.
Nathan, thanks for showing me all these wonderful slingshots. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your business. The business is called Simple Shot, right?
Yeah, Simple Shot Shooting Sports.
Can you explain a little bit to me about the history and the vision?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out making slingshots as Flippinout slingshots, and quickly realized that I could not keep up, and realized that I loved slingshots. I wanted to make this my vocation. This is my career. So I thought, what is it about slingshots that's so compelling and captivating? And it's really the simplicity, just the utter simplicity of rubber and a forked stick. And nothing else has captured my imagination like a slingshot in all of my life. Simple shot.
Simple Shot, yes.
Yeah. So I wanted Simple Shot to be a place to where if you're interested in slingshots, it's your one-stop shop. You can find the high-end art pieces, you can find the fully functional value pieces, you can find all the do-it-yourself gear, all the ammo, the band, everything you need to enjoy this simple sport.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then the other side of it is that I believe that all humans are marksmen. I think as soon as we figured out that we didn't have to use our claws and our teeth to defend ourselves and that we could throw a stick or a stone, we became marksmen. And there's something that's hardwired inside of humans, the desire to hit the mark, the desire to reach beyond our sphere of physical influence and connect with it in an intentional, willful sort of way. And expressing that through slingshots is really nice. You can do it in your backyard. It's quiet. You can introduce children to it. You can have fun with your buddies. It's not loud, and it's simple.
And that simple word is part of the name, Simple Shot.
Simple Shot. It is the Simple Shot.
Okay, well, I have to say that most of his slingshots aren't really simple. They're pieces of art, and some of them are made in a way that I have no idea how it's been done. So these are great pieces.
Well, thank you. And we do hope that we are going to be offering many more of the Scout type slingshots.
Okay.
More, I dare use the word mass produced, but certainly they are. They're all made here in the USA, very carefully. It'll be a quality piece of gear, but it's not going to carry that high price tag like a slingshot art piece would.
So this means that everybody can afford a flipping out slingshot.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and experience a slingshot beyond the wrist rocket or the slingshot you might have had as a kid. The modern materials allow us to have amazingly powerful, accurate, and stealthy slingshots.
Yeah, I'm very excited by all this, and I think the future will show a lot more cool designs that you have.
Yeah, we've got a lot on the drawing board. You've seen a few.
All right, well, thanks very much.
Thank you, Jorgen.
And good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.